Yeah, that's completely rotted, guys. It's just right. Soft, and it's full of water, yeah, basically. It's a little bit dark, but trust me, that's, look, you know, that's really in a bad way, yeah. So yeah, that's what happens when you have water. And all we were short, guys, was a bit of light. If we had a bit of light there, we could have had a shrubbery or a little garden going on. And of course it has dried out now, but it's 24 hours later. But yeah, completely, yeah. 526 is the length, 35 on this end, 41 on that end. That makes a difference, yeah, because it's not parallel. Next is put that on there. Yeah, so it's all level and smooth. And now we're going to seal it, yeah. Have we got the sharpest tool in the box? Are we the sharpest tool in the box? I'm not sure. But you know what? We're trying, yeah? We're trying to make it better than it was. And I'm sure you'll agree that thus far, because it's so strong now, that we're definitely making it better than it was. Now, if you were doing it, I would say to you, leave it over even a little bit more. And there's, you know, so now, guys, yeah, there's no water going to get up under the wood, as you can see, yeah. Now, the external screws, when I get the Sikaflex out, I'll Sikaflex all these screws afterwards, yeah? This is just belt and braces now, I think, really. Yeah? Builders merchants, I would say, guys, for both those products, okay, that I've just shown you today. That's my advice there. Builders merchants, Chadwick's or someplace like that, or Lowe's, if you're in the States, I'd imagine. And of course, this is just to make it save it more, maybe make it better than it was. Well, it's definitely better than it was, because you saw the black rubber, the black rubbish that came out of it. Rotten wood, basically, yeah. But yeah, now when the aluminium goes over this, yeah, the wood is pretty much in there, yeah, for a long time, maybe longer than 32 years of time. Okay guys, you can see in this one, yeah, our gas door needs fixing. Just show you that now, yeah. Again guys, in this area here, right, I wondered why the door, when it was closing down, it seemed to be bulged out a little bit more, and I thought it was twisted. It wasn't very flush, if you know what I mean. It wasn't sitting flush. I can't show you now because I have the screws kind of ready to come out, but when I investigated it, right, the rubber going down here, as you can see, and then it seems to kick out there. So look, this is what I unveiled or uncovered. So you can see now that by pulling out the gas cylinder, you know, someone in the past has accidentally, get up there, someone has accidentally hit this a few times, and in fairness they put a right dent on it there, you know. So yeah, so that's why maybe if your door isn't closing flush, there's a reason. So we'll be straightening that out, yeah, as well. But yeah, so I suppose I could show you the hinges are rotted out as well, so I have to replace both hinges and give it a lick of paint, I suppose, and make it nice. But really guys, it's the wood is the issue here, right? So the bottom of the door here, the aluminium piece, this trim piece, okay, that was really loose on here, yeah, and it was like just flapping, so it wasn't closing right when you know. I'll show you that now, right? And this is the very first job that you would do, man or woman, you know. The good thing about these HYMERs is that everything is stainless steel, okay? So you won't be dealing with rusty screws and stuff. So only make sure that the screwdriver fits the screw properly. And you're basically screwing it out of this little guy here, this little plastic block. Yeah, and you can see there's a little tiny hole behind that there. Yeah. So the screw goes through the block, the plastic block, and into the aluminium. Okay, so that's the first thing you would do, is remove this piece of trim. It's quite soft, you know, so there's no issues with removing it. And that will reveal these 3 screws. Okay, so if your door is not closing properly, first of all you might check the gas cylinder hasn't bashed the sides. But then if it is a little wobbly, you know, this could well be your problem. Look, you see the screws have disintegrated really, you know. These are like Tex screws. They're actually like a 10 mil, yeah, like the head of a bolt on them, but they are actually screws. So what I have to do, guys, is, and what you'll see me doing on this one, all 3 are rusted, is I'm going to be replacing that piece of wood that you saw, okay, and making sure that this door closes properly. Yeah, it just goes down, you see, it just goes down, and it closes in behind this guy here. Okay, so, and then your cylinders are tied, etc. You know the crack. So we're going to straighten that, and we're going to replace this wood, right, because that has to be done. I mean, this is really squishy and soft, and it's full of water, yeah, basically. It's a little bit dark, but trust me, that's, look, you know, that's really in a bad way, yeah. And look, we almost had vegetation going on as well, look, yeah. So right at the very bottom of the door, yeah, we had this like a root ball, yeah. So we could have turned it into like a gardening program, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's what happens when you have water. And all we were short, guys, was a bit of light. If we had a bit of light there, we could have had a shrubbery or a little garden going on, yeah. Okay, so the inner screws here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little screws. There's one in behind this bracket. I've had to put this bracket on again temporarily, yeah. And you can see here, there used to be a rust stain running down here, still a small bit there, but, and I sprayed these guys with like zinc, yeah, with a zinc paint. This will need cleaning up, obviously. This guy he's rusted, you can see that. Maybe this way is better, yeah. You can see the difference, yeah. So yeah, we're getting there. We're cleaning everything. Like I said, the good thing is everything is stainless steel fittings, And then you also put some silicone on the screw and around the hole, right, before you screw it back in. So keep all your silicone jobs until you actually, you know, go at all the jobs that you're going to do, and then just as you're putting stuff back, after you've, like say, painted everything and restored everything, then open your silicone tube, because it's expensive. I just paid like €100 for 6 Sikaflex, yeah, for the roof. You see she's covered, yeah. So yeah, yeah. Okay guys, so with the vernier, right, I've established that this is like 1 inch or 26 mil. Okay, so that's the thickness, yeah. And I've got some marine ply. Now you could just use white wood, but I've got marine ply, which is 1 inch thick, and I'm going to put that on there because, yeah, when I'm done here guys, this is going to be like better than ever, yeah. And I can just, you know, forget about it, it's done. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've taken off the hinges completely here, okay? So you can see that. Sorry, I should have said, this is the gas door, okay, on your RV. And what was wrong with this door was it wasn't closing properly. It wasn't closing flush to the side of the van. And also this area here, right, was flexing. So it was like doing that across here. So it was loose, which would be an indicator to me that the wood behind the aluminium sheeting was rotted or soft. And indeed, I think I have some examples to show you of that, whereby I was pressing on here and you could see it going in. So to resolve that issue, how I've gone about it is I wanted to get to see it and see what was going on with it. And the good thing about HYMER and their build quality is that everything is stainless. You know, all the fittings, and so you don't have decayed screws to deal with. So man or woman, okay, can deal with this. You know, if it's a HYMER you have, everything tends to be stainless steel. So even though this camper is 30+ years old, there's no issues. So basically you get a screwdriver that will fit nicely, okay? Undo this screw, and the same here. Now I done this while it was still on the van, okay? And that lets you get this rubber, which is flexible, soft still. It's not hard and brittle. And that lets you get that off, okay? And then you can see that there's like 3 little bolts, yeah? And I'll show you them better. But there's 3 of those, and that's what attaches this panel to the door. Okay? So the little screws that we just took off, they go through this plastic piece of trim. And underneath there, you'll see the hole. You see it there in the dark? Yeah. So that the screw goes through there and through the aluminium. Okay? And that's on both sides. So that's where we are as regards, you know, undo the hinges and take the door off. That gets us to this stage. I got these 3 out, right, with like a 10mm socket, and that gives us this situation, okay? So we have this now, which comes away. So we can put that away, put it down there, and this is what's revealed. Now you have 3 screws underneath here to take out, and you also have a line of little screws here, again all stainless, and that pretty much lets you take this off, this piece. light it a little bit. Yeah, so you can then remove this piece down. Okay, just be gentle with it. I'm doing it with one hand, obviously, but you know, just lift it up a little, get your nails under it and lift it up a little. Okay, now we've moved it down because another identifier there is the bottom will be flush with the aluminium. Okay, so you can see we've moved it and you can see the screw holes. Yeah, now we're looking at the screw holes. So you would take the screws out and that gets you to this stage. Before we go any further, I turn it over again, and what there is there's a little strip, this little strip. Okay, it's very thin. Yeah, maybe 8 or 9 millimeters wide by about 1.5 millimeters thick, and that goes in and makes the gap up. Okay, it just takes up the gap. There's a gap and that takes up the gap, so that goes in there like that. Yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to reveal the wood, and I have different shots of that there. I'll show them to you as we speak, you'll see them. But now if we pull, I really don't it's gooey in the track. Okay, there will be, you know, when you're putting it back, make sure you put a little bit of sealant on it. So there you have it, guys. Yeah, that's what it looks like. There's 2 beads along there, you can see them. There's nothing along the bottom as such, and just that little skinny bead like I showed you. Yeah, so up on this end of the door, okay, up here you have 2 bigger screws, which is this piece here. Yeah, so that goes on like that. Yeah, and you have a screw, if you notice you have a screw underneath here, so that's one of those screws. Yeah, so you won't be able to get that one until you take this little bracket off. Okay, now the reason why we took the hinges off is because in here you have this little guy, right, and he screws in from in there. Yeah, so to access him you're going to have to get this seal, this little woolly seal, right? Show you up this end, this guy. Yeah, to access it, it's in there, but you're going to have to move this seal. Yeah, slide it around. And that's the final thing you would do, is put that on. Yeah, so you can see now the condition of the wood. Yeah, there's a screw. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a screw. I think it is. Yeah, so let's just have a look at this. Yeah, that's what it is, guys. It's a screw coming in from the side. Yeah, so we will have to screw the timber in from the side. Yeah, and that's why I was saying to you, that's why we need to take this, you know, draft excluder or whatever you'd like to call that little strip, because there's a screw comes in there into the wood and locks the wood in place. And that's basically all it is. It's just that strip of wood. Now I can tell you, I've measured this way the thickness, which is this one. Okay, the thickness this way, and it's exactly 1 inch. Okay, and now we'll get the dimensions that way, and we'll see what that is. So Okay, so we're talking about 35 millimeters roughly, yeah, 36 millimeters. Thickness, or the wood thickness is 26 mil across here, yeah, the top 26, and this way is 36, yeah. So, and it is as rotten. It's completely rotten, right? Look. Yeah. That's completely rotted, guys. It's just... Right? So, that's what we're looking at, yeah? Completely rotted. So I'm going to clean this up back to the aluminium sheeting, and we'll take it from there, guys. Yeah, I'm going to cut a piece of marine ply now, 36 millimeters, which is an inch thick, which is about 25.5 or 26 millimeters. So I have the thickness in marine ply, and that's what I will use, right? And then of course it'll get screwed in, right? It'll get screwed in at that point there, which locks it in place, and screwed in here, like you see there, right? Which locks it in place from doing this. And that's like the end of the door frame, you know. It attaches to the aluminium. We'll glue it, etc. I'll clean everything up now, and, you know, I'll bring you back when I've cut the piece of ply, and we'll put new seals on everything, and that should be that door pretty much repaired. Yeah, isn't it, Bust? Yeah. I've got these brushes here, yeah, all kinds and sizes. Even the worn one, you know, the worn down ones are handy. So I got them in a little bucket, and yeah, find them handy. Ideal for this kind of... Okay. Now we've got that cleaned back to the aluminium. All the glue, there was like glue on it, yeah? And that's off it now. I've got this cloth here just to protect, yeah? To protect it. So now we also have on the end here, right? You can see, like I said before, we've got a screw that comes through there and catches on the wood. And we've also got the remains of a screw right there. Yeah. So to access those screws, we're going to have to pull out on this guy here, like that. Let me show you if I can. So this is flexible. It's kind of hard plastic, and that goes down the slit. So I think we'll get away with pulling that out ever so slowly. And that way we'll be able to access the screw, take out the old screw. Yeah. Which is in there. I would have imagined the head of the screw would come out through there, and unless it's got bigger with rust, it seems to be bigger than the slot. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that in there. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to try and get the screw out. How did they get the screw in? Yeah, can't understand it. Okay, we'll leave the screw for a minute and we'll just do the other side. Okay. Yeah. We'll put it back in ever so, you know, maybe heat it up a little bit, maybe. Heat the plastic up a little bit. Because it seems to be like plastic, yeah? You just squeeze it in and put it inside. Right, I'll get those screws out, right? It seems to be kind of welded in there. That screw, yeah? It's just corroded, fully corroded in there, yeah? That was a duck. I hope. Or an alien, maybe. Don't know. Okay guys, I'm just wiping it here with like some panel wipe, yeah? You can see that there. Just to get any of that remaining glue. I would imagine that the wood that was already rotted out on there would have been glued. So I'm going to be gluing it to the aluminium. Like I say, it's marine ply, so maybe it was just white wood, ordinary white softwood that was on there before. But the marine ply is probably better, as in it'll give more life, right? So the next 30 years, yeah? Now I've been measuring it up and I've come across some discrepancies. You know, I would just like to cut a piece of wood that's just straight, but no. Okay, so I'll explain that quickly. I've got a measurement of 41 millimeters here, okay? And I've got a measurement of 35 millimeters here. So this side is slightly longer here than here. I think you might be even able to spot that, yeah? You know? So, I've gone and measured from the top of the frame here, you know, to here, and from here to here, and it's all parallel, okay? So it's the polystyrene and this foam spray, you know, the divider. It's obviously, you can see it's probably thicker here than it is there, right? And the wood would have been put in until it was level and just sandwiched. So it was just to, you know, try and find. So we have 35 there and 41 there. And if we put our rule here, we have, and give it a push, 526. So the length is 526. Okay, so I'm going to cut that now out of a piece of marine ply, and then we'll, you know, this is going to dry. This is dry already. Cover that up. Highly flammable. 526 is the length. 35 on this end. 41 on that end. That makes a difference, yeah? Because it's not parallel. So we've got to make sure it's on the left and it's on the right, and the length is 526. Okay. A bit of a sand. I took some of the corners off with, you know, this kind of thing. Yeah. Just some of the corners. So that's the clean side of it. This was part of a workbench, yeah, that I was using temporarily. That'd be the longer side of it. So yeah, if this side goes down, because this side is going to get glued, yeah, and that's the clean side of it. Okay. if there is any oil or anything on that, it doesn't really matter because it's facing inwards, yeah, and it's be a protector in itself. Okay guys, it's been about 18 hours since we were here last, so let's see. On my thumb, see how we got on. See if this is a success or not. Okay. That looks good. Yeah. Seems to have stuck. Yeah. So. Yeah. Put my glasses on. Yeah, it's rigid. Okay. That's great news. And we're screwed in at the ends. Yeah. In there. And there. Okay. I'm going to put a piece on here now, like a seal. Yeah. So that's all level and smooth. And now we're going to seal it. Yeah. I think for the final time, we're taking the screws out, okay? And you'll see why in a moment. Okay. Right, that's glued in, remember? Yeah. So, this is like well, you know, it's a builder's material for sure. Okay, you see it where you put like a lean-to onto the side of the house, your house. So that's one product that we could, you know, we could maybe use to cover this area and keep it secure from water, obviously. This is another product, Radex. This is a really good product. Right, and it's like for radon barrier, or if you're joining that black sheeting, you know, like a radon barrier. So you can just put this on and peel off this side, and it's obviously it's waterproof, right? And it's sticky. And I'm thinking of putting a piece, if I can get it in there and along the bottom. Okay, so that in practical terms, that would seal all this wood, you know, completely seal it from the elements and getting wet. Okay, so it would be sealed. what I could do is just like, you know, put a piece from here to here, and that would save a lot as well. But I would like, if I can, I would like to get it up inside there and up inside here, and just run it up the sides as well. Yeah, I might put a piece of that bigger stuff then, this stuff, maybe here, because we do have the room. There's like a lip. Yeah, there's a step from here to here. You can see that? Yeah. It's like quite a big step, like 6 mil, 8 millimeters. So that's what we're going for, guys. That's my, you know, so if I cut it to length and a little bit longer, I suppose that would make it handy. We definitely have enough there. So if I cut that with the scissors thereabouts, and we'll play with it, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Of course, this stuff doesn't want to cut either. The blade would be better. Stanley, if we brought Stanley into the picture. Now I'm going to try this, so we'll see how it goes, yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm trying to do, but if I could get it in there as it is, yeah, and that's kind of, I think that's right in, so that's good, right? Now if I bring it, what I want to do, guys, is I want to bring this edge as much as possible right on the aluminium. I think that would be even better, right? So what we'll do, since that was easy, what we'll do is we'll cut this paper. Yeah, you always got to be thinking, because I've never done this before, guys. There's a first for everything, I suppose, and here it is right now. Cut my thumb off. I've never done that before either. So that's as close as I think I can get to it. Maybe I could go a little bit closer. Have we got the sharpest tool in the box? Are we the sharpest tool in the box? I'm not sure, but you know what? We're trying, yeah? We're trying to make it better than it was, and I'm sure you'll agree that thus far, because it's so strong now, that we're definitely making it better than it was. Is that all the way up? Yeah. Sorry guys if I'm kind of running out a little bit on you, but I want to see if I can pull it. Yeah. Okay. So now we can see the edge, right? So what we want to do is, this is all hands on deck here, guys. Try and move it out as we can, just a little bit, yeah, like that, and it'll cut into the aluminium, I'm sure, when the pressure of the bottom corner goes on. So you can see what's kind of going on there, guys. I'm leaving just about, what, a millimeter, 2 mil overhang. So yeah, this is like new house builds, you know, there's radian in the ground. So, and this is you get like a really heavy gauge. I don't know if they call it like 12,000 gauge or something. It's a really hard a barrier, I suppose you'd call it, for the radian. And this stuff is when you do the joint. Okay, so it can take a battering, this stuff can, you know, it's really sticky and gooey. Once you get a little bit of heat on it, it's like, that's it. So now we have to kind of roughly cut here, yeah? We gotta guess it, of course, yeah? As you can see. So we'll kind of get a measure there and just measure that, and just rough, yeah? So if we say 50 mil, yeah? 50 mil from this corner, which is here, I can see it down here, guys. So like 50 mil from there gets me there. So we'll cut that there. There's none of this rehearsed. This is just as we go. So now, oh yeah, I suppose it would help to cut off the paper, remember? Because that's what it looks like on the flip side. You've got about 3 or 4 mil of paper. We're just guessing at this, guys, really. Yeah. I can't get close enough into it, to be honest. Yeah, scissors is just not getting where we want to go, but that'll do. Yeah. Now we want to go in there. Actually, 50 mil might have been a little bit on the strong side for that. Yeah. But there we go. Push it down into it. No, it is too long. Darn. Maybe it can go down there. Yeah, it's too long. Okay. And I suppose it wouldn't be any harm. We can leave that. Yeah? We could leave the paper on it. It's nylon type paper, which that's a waterproof paper. Yeah, so it wouldn't be any harm. When the screw goes in, it's going through this real dacky, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like, you know. So guys, I think radix. Okay, so if you want to go hunting that, jump over to Google and type in radix, right? That's going to seal all that nicely. It keeps the water out, yeah? Right. I should have a little blade. I'm sure I had a little blade here right at my hand. And of course, maybe I shouldn't have pressed it down until, I don't know. That edge is bothering me now. At least this edge is the important one, yeah? Because it's on the outside, if you follow. Yeah? Just like to, I thought I'd just be able to just lift it up and peel it. Just really the way it should go, but you just have to patience, I suppose, as usual. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Yeah? I'll just tear it off of that because I don't think, yeah, it doesn't matter really. This little bit now. Come on, play nicely. There we go. just pulling it over there to try and get, you know, a better cover on the side. Now if you were doing it, I would say to you, leave it over even a little bit more. And there's, you know, so now guys, yeah, there's no water going to get up under the wood, as you can see, yeah. Now the external screws, when I get the Sikaflex out, I'll Sikaflex all these screws afterwards, yeah. But not today, there's no need, and I'm not going to open a tube of Sikaflex. I just bought 6 of them, right, at €100 odd or more. So yeah. Okay guys, I think I'm going to take a chance on doing this. Just go for it, right? But if I just put that like like that, and cut it. Hopefully it'll play ball with us. Just to protect the wood. Gets sticky after a while, this does. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to repeat what he's saying. There you go. That it definitely feels like how it's supposed to be done. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, you know, we'll learn together. There it is. Builders merchants, I would say, guys, for both those products, okay, that I've just shown you today. That's my advice there. Builders merchants, Chadwick's or someplace like that, or Lowe's if you're in the States, I'd imagine. And of course, this is just to make it save it more, maybe make it better than it was. Well, it's definitely better than it was, because you saw the black rubber, the black rubbish that came out of it. Rotten wood, basically, yeah. But yeah, now when the aluminium goes over this, yeah, the wood is pretty much in there, yeah, for a long time, maybe longer than 32 years or 30. What is it? 19? It's 1992. This camper. So I think we're okay, guys. Yeah. Now later I'll extract these screws again, especially these outside ones, and I'll put the Sikaflex in those. Yeah. But there's no real need on the sides, because no water is going to get in there, or very little. I mean, water isn't going to get into the door frame. But like there's a list of stuff that I'll be going back on screws. Yeah. So again, at the bottom, I'll be doing the bottom screws. I'll extract them, and I'll put Sikaflex on the screws and around the screw holes and seal it. Yeah. So that's that piece done. That's the final look before we seal it all up. Yeah. Okay. Now is this guy, and there is stuff sealant in there. It's sticky and gooey. Doesn't let this slide up, as you can see. I have to push it, and then underneath these screw holes, or over the top I should say. Okay, so this is on the inside, so I'm going to clean this, guys, and paint it maybe, yeah, but today I'm just wanting to get now this is the bit that I kind of don't understand. There is that gap. There's a gap, right? You can see it. Yeah, I would have much preferred to see this outer piece under this, but it's the design, unless somebody has been here before me, guys. Yeah. And changed the design of it, but I don't think so, because unless they made this aluminium strip, okay, which is probably 1 mil thick, well, 1.5 mil, 1.5 millimeters thick by about 10, and that goes down in here. Yeah, like that. So it's to me, it's just going to catch water going down. I don't understand it, but that goes in there like that. If you know better than me, right, then please, down in the comments, right, you might just say what you think, why this is here. Yeah, because the water this is where the water is running down the outside, so it's like it's a water trap, really. You know, it goes down to there and it can go in there now, unless I put a bead on afterwards of you know, but please advise on that one, because I'm not sure, guys. Why would that be? I'm just pushing it over to centralize it. There. So now we screw this piece on, yeah. This is going to be for cleaning as well, yeah. Going to clean all these up. But right now, if we could, that looks like the screw for there. Okay, guys, I've got these little stainless screws, yeah. Which were from day one, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the two bigger screws, yeah, will hold on the bracket here for the strap. I'll put those on. I'll also put the 3 screws in the bottom, and we'll get round to the front, yeah. Okay, guys, yes, it was rusted up, yeah, and I gave it a quick clean. I'll be spraying all these. I have done 1 or 2. Basically, again, I was back with the wire brush, yeah, just to give it a little clean up, because, like I say, it was rusty, yeah. And I will be painting this aluminium strip, yeah, but just to say that it was rusty, yeah, and I've cleaned it up a little bit better, and I'll spray them up, but I have to get the bulk work done first, yeah. So yeah. Okay, guys, I've gone for my stainless steel screws. The ones that were here, if you remember, were completely rotted away, non-existent, and I've gone for about a 1/2 inch just off of that hole, and not wanting to crash into where the holes are for the skirt that'll go on next. Again, a little bit to the center here, off center, yeah, and again here at the end, yeah, and not wanting again to, you know, that's the hole for the skirt, yeah. Okay, so I'll just drive those home, and we'll go on with the skirt, yeah. I almost forgot about you. No, I'm not left-handed. Or I am left-handed. This is just belt and braces now, I think, really. Yeah. What we don't have, guys, is we don't have the holes. Yeah, we've just covered them up. That's what happens when you rush. Got it? Someplace the holes are there. Darn. Okay, guys, I'm not going to use these. Yeah, I've decided the body is a little bit too fat. I've cut them and everything, and I've taken them down and I've pointed them, yeah, but I've come across these screws, okay, which are about the same length, don't need cutting as such. I'm hoping the point won't come through the back, yeah, more bite and just as strong through the thickness of 1 inch, okay. So I've got 2 of them there, just started off. Again, if I was to make holes, you know, like a pilot hole for this guy, by the time I pull it all out, I'll have destroyed our little our black mastic type of stuff. So the Radex, I mean, yeah. So I think I'll just go with screwing these in. Like I say, I've found the holes. Okay, I lifted a little bit and just put the all through. Okay, so that's sorted. This guy, I think, is a good fit. Yeah, so we're just going to take these down and see how we are. Don't want to tighten too much. Just bite. Okay, let's see how that is. Well, I can tell you now, right, that is solid, guys. That is a solid door, right? Which was the game plan here all along, is to get ourselves a solid door. It doesn't look like they came out on the back side here. It would be like it's the center of that one, right? So they would have come out. I think I just feel it there, actually, protruding. Don't know whether a small little bit there, but they're tight enough. I don't want to make them any tighter. And I don't know if you can see or not, guys, but look, we've a nice seal going on in there. Yeah, so it stops the water. I've put 3 little bits there where the old screw holes were. No one's going to, you know, right? I'll take those up and I'll put Sikaflex on there. Now, that to me is running. Can you see what I see? If you look here, yeah, and here. Can you see it? Now, I suppose that's meant to be that way. We'll find out, guys. We'll go out and see, yeah? Okay, guys. That's it, really. I mean, I've just put the hinges, screwed the hinges, so it's the doors connected. And everything seems to line up pretty good. The colour lines, the aluminium trim, yeah, falls in right. And also, if you remember, put the key in fully, if you remember, at the beginning of this video, just right, so that's okay. And if you remember, basically I just put the two hinges here, yeah, screwed the two hinges again, just connected the hinges onto the door. But if you remember at the beginning, we had this strip here, right? So I basically just bent it back out with the pliers, big pliers, yeah, until it's pretty much straight down. So now we can put our trim on, yeah, and yeah, looking good. It closes nice, like you just saw. And now we're going to continue on with these guys over here, and there's a hinge, right? So that's one of the next jobs to do. I've oiled them already. Now the hinges, obviously they're not worn, right? The hinge itself isn't worn, because how would it, you know? But this has rusted away, so I'll probably just cut across here, put a new piece of metal, take this old metal off here, yeah, and put the new piece of metal back on there. And because it's all good here around, yeah, just clean it all up and paint it. So that'll be for the next one, guys, yeah. But happy with how that, you know, happy with how that closes in. So that's a success, I reckon, out of a piece of yeah. Now I've got to put the little piece of trim, just shove that on there, and put the two screws, and we're good to go. Yeah, guys. There you have it. Trim is on. Not looking too shabby now, I don't think. So, another little job ticked off the list.